Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I am doing well. I love numbers.
Oh, that's great. I have you know my little hashtag, make love to the numbers, and I'm very supportive of that.
So I was sitting down. I wanted to see where we're at as of today. And for cash in today, we're at $66,645. That's 46% to goals. But here's the thing, though. I did a conversion also today for $7,500. They're just bringing in the check tomorrow. And if I would have gotten that today, I would be at 51% of goal.
That's awesome. I love it. That's so great. That is so great.
This is good.
And our due date, tell me again, when is our goal date by?
April 12th.
Okay. Is that when the
That's when the note is called on that day. This 145 is for end of month.
Okay, so 145 is the goal, and it's for end of month so that you have a couple weeks buffer there. Is that correct?
Exactly. I've got to get over the next 2 weeks or 10 business days. I need to come up with $78,355. Breaks down to about $7,500 a day.
Okay.
Which, if we can keep me moving, because I haven't been able to send out because I've been in sales meetings all days today, but I got 2 people, of my 5 people I met with today, 3 of them converted on the spot. My other 2, one, I'm expecting it to convert tomorrow because Dad was ready to sign on the page till daughter said, "We need to talk about this before you sign." So I'm like, okay, what's your hesitation? Well, we just need to make a family decision because this is a family thing. And I'm like, okay, I'll touch base with you tomorrow. Okay, that sounds good. And then my other one is a situation where.
Now, can I pause there for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
So when she says it's a family decision, do you follow up with her and say, that's great, I believe in making a clear decision that's good for the whole family? Is there anything on your end that is a concern?
On this one, the only thing that is, you're asking ask that question to her.
Correct, because sometimes people don't say what's really on their mind, and if you ask gently, not in a belligerent way, but in a we're on the same side kind of way, they will tell you what their issue is, and then you get to speak to it so that you're not off the call when they're trying to figure out an answer to that potential objection.
I'm 95% confident I know what her issue was price, because I saw her entire it's sad. It's the daughter, the one that has not paying anything towards it. Her whole demeanor changed when I quoted price. And, of course, that's when I just circled back around with, sometimes that whole saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of whatever the other thing is.
Yeah.
Because they go, we're talking about mineral rights. We're talking about oil rights. We're talking about stuff right now that is all over the place with lack of funding strategy. And while the investment may seem like a lot right now, think of all the stress you guys are under right now. not only are you going to get things properly laid out, you're also going to have it to where things are going to be efficient and smooth after your passing. That's when the dad was ready to go. So
efficient, smooth, and if she has a money concern, it needs to be efficient, smooth, and as a result, will probably save you 30% over what it would cost if you didn't do a thorough job now, right?
And that's kind of, because I love to try to show people the savings. It's kind of like when I talk to people and I say, well, I'm going to cut you a deal and I'm going to do X or I'm going to do Y, which half the time is something I would kind of sort of throw in most of the time anyway. But I always make sure that I put down my menu price and wash it through. And I'm like, and I just call it, discount or wage or, whatever. And that people really, I sound really bad I say it, but people really eat that up.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's buying psychology. People always like to know that they're getting value.
Good deal,
and they think that they're here's the challenge. They think that they're getting value by having a discount or a savings. That's not always the case. I mean, you're giving great value regardless, but oftentimes great value comes from investing more. It comes from actually not looking for the lowest price deal, right? You know that if the daughter is price shopping, she's not going to necessarily get someone who's going to do a good job, and then it's, as you said, they're going to lose the money later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it sounds like you have that well in hand. I just wanted to give you that as a like.
Oh no, I love that. I love the conversation because I'm always trying to figure out because I tried not to take the person's initial rejection or attempt to divert the attention away from the pressure of giving me a conclusion or a reason. I try to be respectful of it, but any more arrows I can put in my quiver of having that conversation, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I think that the way it works best is, at least in my book, is to be on the same side so that you're not putting her on the defense by saying, what do you have to talk about, right? That's not what we're saying. We're saying, like, I think that's a great idea that you guys talk about things. Can you share with me what your top 3 concerns are? Because sometimes people walk away from this conversation not getting the answers to their real concerns because they haven't, brought it to the table or they don't think it's a fair thing to bring up. But I'm an open book and better for you to bring it up now so I can speak to it, and then you guys can go and have that conversation yourself.
Yeah.
Right? On the same side, but then you're able to attend to what her issues are or what the family issues are.
Yeah, and I know that I was talking with, this was last week, and I've just been going all over the place trying to be as productive as possible, but I had gotten a really good suggestion from an email follow-up with someone that I'm like, they're such on the cusp of converting. And she was sharing with me how she was having a problem converting one of her clients recently and how she did a my gift to you email basically and actually detailing out in far more particulars the proposed strategy than my normal summary. So it looks a lot more formalistic, and she said that was a great tipping point for that person. So I want to try to do that, at least with this one person, this one family, to try to see how it goes. Because like I said, they're so on the cusp.
Yeah, I think that's you have to be strategic about that, and you have to know human psychology. There are some people who really want information. That's what makes them feel secure. For other people, it makes their eyes glaze over and it makes them feel insecure. Do you know what I mean by that?
I do, because the person I met with that I did end up converting this afternoon, information gave her overload. She just wanted to know that her goals could be met through our assistance, and that's all she cared about.
Yeah. She wants to trust you. She wants to know that she's going to get the result that she wants.
Exactly.
That's all she needs. Other people need this like specificity. So you need to just be clear with when you use that follow-up email strategy, which is a good one, that you're clear what type of person you're working with.
And the good point, that's a good point so that I don't make it part of a drip strategy. But this person is the type of person that, Dad was a professor at Emory, even though Dad's the one in a facility due to Parkinson's, his mind is 100% still there, et cetera, et cetera. So, but that's true. Very, very true.
Yeah. So just know that there's different types of people and keep that in mind. It doesn't, because you want to help people help themselves. You
Yes.
have a great product and service. You know that you're giving huge value, and they just need to know that. How do they know this specifically? How would they know this? Okay.
Is that a rhetorical question or a direct question?
No, that's more of a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Like, how do they actually know that? What's their thought process behind understanding that this is a good fit? Now, some people are, I only make a price decision. And that's more challenging, okay? But you have to build the value there. And then you have to work with their buying psychology, which is they want a deal, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, numbers have been fun today only because I was, I use the word stressed, but stressed in a good place, like stressed for inspiration.
Motivated. Yeah.
Motivated. There's the word I'm thinking of.
Happy to help.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
So that's why I was just excited about my number. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm excited for you. I have a question for you. Do you have what I call a quick decider incentive? So you're talking to the family.
What you do?
Well, some version of that. So like if you're talking to the family and they need to have a family meeting, you can say something like, that's great. I think that's a really good idea that you guys confer. One thing that we do for our clients is that if they make a decision, and you can either make it the same day, and please just send me an email and we'll be able to get started that way, or, within the next 24 hours and we can talk tomorrow morning at 10, whatever it is, however you want to do it, is we do X, Y, and Z. And it can be a savings, it could be a percentage, it could be this extra bonus thing that people want, and you be transparent about it. The reason we do this is that, one, we know that you want to get started, and this helps us, get the ball rolling faster, but it also saves us admin time in terms of, having multiple conversations. You have to figure out how you want to frame that.
Yeah.
But it saves us, overhead time, because we're making sure that, we're a good fit, and we're doing that in a streamlined, efficient manner, and not doing it over 3 to 6 months or over 2 to 3 weeks or whatever you want to say. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I would say 2 to 3 weeks. I wouldn't say 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I've given them permission about what the norm is in their mind.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Exactly. So some version of that, and you have to figure out what that is. Okay.
Okay.
And in the way I modeled it, there's a reason why you're doing that. Okay. So that they understand, one, we'd love to work with you. Obviously, it makes sense for us, having had this consult, to really, keep the momentum going and make sure that, we take it to the next, step, and that we're able to serve you. But it's also, an overhead admin perspective, right? Something like that. You can figure out.
I'm going to try to figure that out. Now you have me inspired to try that.
Yeah. And you want to use it. You want to test it out and use it. And I mean, sometimes people can have a conversation. Is this something that you think is going to take you a while to review, or can you guys have a conversation in the next hour and then we jump back on in a little bit, because if you're able to do that, and we can, I can either answer your questions further later today or not, I'd be happy to extend this, and you might want to call it something else. I don't know if Quick Decider makes sense in this same day decision bonus, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if you're not someone that makes decisions in the same day, I totally get that. We can talk tomorrow.
Okay. Loving it. I can't wait to try it.
Okay. Good.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Be well.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ever feel like a fish out of water? Like nobody really gets you? Well, if you are loving this podcast, then you'll love the Unstoppable Woman community. Meet high-performing women going for more in their lives and businesses at the Income Breakthrough Summit that we are holding for you. Learn more and grab your ticket at theunstoppablewoman.com/summit. I hope to see you there.